Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about she can't miss you if. So a woman can't miss you if you're still in her DMs a lot, if you're still calling her up, if you're still engaging with her in some way, you're still trying to meet up with her, leaving her voicemails, those kinds of things. Right? She can't miss you if you're doing those things. So more than likely you want a woman to miss you if she's backed away from you. Okay, so let's say she's lost interest, okay, or she's losing interest, and you're wondering how you can reignite the passion that she once had for you, or to reignite a passion. Or make the passion happen for her, right? So the best thing that you can do is to not do anything, okay? Because a lot of guys think, and women too, when they go through this as well, they think that they have to take action to solve it. So if a woman is pulling away from you, and you're like, oh my god, what I need to do something, I need to say something, there's got to be some way, maybe you're looking for closure and you're like, what happened? And you might message her and say, I thought everything was going great, and now what's going on, why don't you want to see me anymore? Doing that is not going to make the situation better, and it definitely won't make her miss you. The best thing to do is to, let's say she ghosted you, right? Let's say you sent her a message, sent, hey, how are you, something like that, or when are you free again for a date, you didn't hear anything back. The best thing for you to do in that moment is to do nothing. Okay, she's got the message, she may have read it, she may not have, but more than likely she knows that she's got a message from you, because obviously, with phones and stuff, you can get a message and read it without having to open it, so the read receipt isn't there. And some people can even block the like on WhatsApp, you can like remove the read receipt so people don't know when you've read their message and stuff, I think. So she's got the message, okay? She knows that you've tried to contact her, and more than likely as well, she knows how you feel about her. She knows that you like her. She knows that you're trying to put in the effort to date her and court her and to spend time with her. She knows these things. It's not subtle to women, okay? Women know and understand when a guy likes them. Okay, they can even tell if a guy likes them who they've never spoken to. Okay, let's say they go to work together or they go to school together. More than likely, women will have clocked on to the guys that are interested, because they can tell by the guy's body language, they can tell by the way that he looks at her, they can tell by the way that he may be behaving, physically, or his energy when she enters the room. Most women know when a guy likes them, okay? So she knows how you feel. You don't need to do anything else. That's why you don't do anything. That's why you do no contact. That's why you wait for her to respond. And if she never responds, well, then she just wasn't that into you. Because at some point, if a woman likes you, she's gonna be like, oh, what happened to that guy? And she'll go, well, I haven't heard from him. And then she'll like open her phone and then she'll message you. Okay, she'll reply to the message because she's like, oh, I haven't heard from him in a few days. And what you got to realize as well is that when you really like a woman, if she messages you, you're completely aware of it. Like, even if you don't read it straight away, that it's on your mind that she's messaged you. Okay, and it's the same for women when it comes to a guy that they really like. If they've got their phone and they get a message from a guy that they like, they're like, right? Like, and even if they don't open it straight away, they're aware of it, and then they might be talking to their friends about, oh my god, he messaged me. What do I say? What do I do? She'll be, asking ChatGPT, whatever, whatever happens these days, right? So, so she knows, right? And right? You know how you feel when you get a message from a girl that you like. And a woman behaves in the exact same way, and maybe it manifests differently, but you're aware of it, right? You know the message is there. So if she hasn't responded to your message, in the appropriate amount of time, let's say she hasn't responded within 48 hours, then she's not that into you, or she's lost interest for whatever reason, okay? And the reason doesn't really matter. You don't need to know the reason, because it could have been you, it could have been something that you said, it could have been something that you did, or it might not have been. Okay, one of the most actually common things that I see when women back away from men that they're dating, even though it seemed like things were going really well, is that someone else came back into the picture who that woman had a more stronger emotional investment in. So this could have been an ex-boyfriend or a crush that they've just had more time to ruminate and think about and fall in love with, right? And because they've got a bigger emotional investment in that guy, when he comes back into the picture in some shape or form, she's going to be putting her attention back on him, and she's going to drop you, who maybe she's only spent a couple of hours with on a date, okay? So that's what's happened. Yeah, it would be great if women could, and obviously this happens with guys as well sometimes too, it'd be really great if we were all just honest with ourselves and said, well, okay, well, I'm clearly not over this other person. I shouldn't be dating anyone, because if this woman comes back, if this guy comes back, then I'm going to be, I could break someone's heart here potentially, okay? So yeah, it would be great if we all just moved on properly, was healthy, did the healthy thing of taking time to get over someone before we try to get under someone else. But it's not always the case. And that is actually one of the most common things that happens that I've seen. When people come and have coaching with me, they somewhere in their story they discuss that, oh yeah, she was talking about her ex has come back into the picture, or he's started to message her again and she's been getting really confused. Sometimes they don't always tell me that, but I can, sometimes I can tell that maybe that's what's happened. But also it could be that you made a few mistakes. Perhaps you was a bit too needy, a bit too insecure. Perhaps you started acting like her boyfriend prematurely, because sometimes that can happen too. But usually the mistakes tend to happen when the woman starts backing away. That's usually when a guy starts making mistakes, or a woman starts making mistakes when a guy is backing away from her. They'll message more, they'll call up, they'll want the closure, they'll want to know what's going on, and that usually pushes that person away even further. So that's what happens in that context. So because that's happened, it's usually then what they did on the dates was actually normal and fine. Like what you probably were acting and being normal and behaving normally, and you wasn't trying to force her into anything, like relationship or anything. You wasn't acting like a boyfriend to begin with, like too soon, basically. So most of the time guys are actually doing all the right things, but it was just that the woman just had stronger feelings for someone else, and that guy just happened to appear again. Okay, and it's the same with women as well. If you're a woman watching this video and you're wondering if you want this guy to miss you, and things were going really well on a date, and then all of a sudden he just went ghost, it's more than likely an old crush or an old ex that he has stronger feelings for has come back into the picture, and he's now seeing her. Okay, it's just one of those things. But it could be, like I was saying, like you could have been acting like a boyfriend too soon. Basically, how this manifests is if you're dating a woman, and you're only dating her, so let's say you've been on like only 1 or 2 dates with her, so you've only spent a limited amount of time with her, especially if you've only like met online or something like that. But even if you do know her in a work environment or a school environment and you've known her for a long time, again, your dating stage, your dating period has been much more smaller. Okay, so she only knows you a little bit in that context now, okay, in those few hours of dating you. But if you're acting like her boyfriend, okay, and what I mean by that is you're buying her extravagant things. It doesn't even have to be extravagant things, but you're doing lots for her. If you don't hear from her, you're like, hey, what's going on? What's up? Like as if you're like some concerned boyfriend, okay? But if she's not your girlfriend, there's no reason for you to be treating her like that, okay? Your sole purpose when you go on dates with a woman, until she starts talking about relationships and asking, what are we? These kinds of things. Just focus on having a great day. Just focus on having a fun time. Just focus on being goofy, just having a fun, silly time, just getting her to laugh. And that's all you really need to focus on when you go out on a date with a woman. That's literally it. Okay, and if she likes you, what you'll notice, she'll start to touch you. And because she's starting to touch you, like maybe she touches your arm, maybe she playfully nudges you, that's when you know it's okay to start touching her. So when you let's say you're at a crossroads, you need to grab her hand and walk across the road. If she's been poking you and touching you, then it's okay to hold her hand across the road, because she's already introduced touch. Okay, so when she introduces touch, you just introduce more touch. Okay, so you're going for hugs, maybe kisses and stuff like that. Right? And how do you know if a woman wants to be kissed? Well, she'll be looking down at your lips, and she'll look back into your eyes and down at your lips again. Maybe she'll even move her head like that, kind of thing. But her face will be quite close to yours and things. So you notice, and if she's doing that, if she's looking at your eyes and at your lips, and you can see that's the direction of her eyes, where they're going, then she wants to be kissed, so going for the kiss, okay? But that's all you need to focus on when you're going on dates with women, just having a great time, and then just waiting for her to initiate those physical touches, and then you can escalate those physical touches to more things. And, that's all you need to do, okay? That's all you really need to be focusing on. You don't need to be focusing on relationships. You don't need to be focusing on dating. You don't, you don't need to be focusing on progressing the relationship from dating to something further. She will do that. She'll let you know when she's ready for those things, okay? She'll tell you. Or you'll just be hanging out with each other so much that it'll become self-evident, okay? So you can just be really laid back about this and just have a blast whenever you go on a date with a woman, have a fun time, get her to laugh, giggle, you know, and that's all you really need to focus on, okay? So if you're doing the opposite of that, then you're acting too much like a needy, insecure boyfriend, okay? And she's not your girlfriend yet, so there's no reason for you to be treating her like that, okay? So the best thing to do if a woman isn't responding to your messages is to do nothing, okay? If she likes you, she will reach out to you eventually, and you have to trust that. And if she doesn't, well, you'll just never hear from her again and you can move on with your life. But at least you know if she likes you, she would have messaged you. So she obviously doesn't like you. You don't need to know why. You don't need to know what happened. She obviously just doesn't like you for whatever reason. And you know that because she hasn't responded to you. She hasn't got in touch. So the only thing left for you to do to keep your self-respect intact is to move on and to date other women. And that's essentially it, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com and pick whichever coaching option works best for you. But I know the economy is crap right now. So if you want to coach yourself, then of course you can continue watching my videos. Maybe you want to come back and rewatch this one if this one was important to you. Or you can go and coach yourself on my website by reading Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams completely for free. This is a book that I wrote and you can find it on my website. All you need to do is go to www.christineloveridge.com, click on the book, which will be in the menu of the website. It's literally just the book, and just go to that and you can start coaching yourself. You don't need to log into the website. You don't need to sign up for anything. It's just there for you to go read completely for free on the website. If you do want to purchase the Amazon Kindle version or the physical copy, you can do so on Amazon.com, and you can get that by actually going to the book on the website, and there's a link for it, or you could just search it up in Amazon. And that's another way that you can support me if you would like to. And if you do happen to read the book on, get the physical copy or read it on Kindle, then I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a nice review for me. You can leave a review about the book, or you can leave a review about my coaching in general. And that'll be just another way that you can support me and my work. And I would really appreciate that. But of course, it's not necessary because, again, you can just read this for free. Okay? So thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.